I said it, and I will say it again and again. They are quite possibly the biggest danger to themselves and others across the whole of known space. We're in the first year of them joining the greater galactic community, and integrating themselves into the workplace among their peers. A multitude of new rules and laws had to be put into place, because if a human can, they will find a way to harm themselves at work. And they don't even do it intentionally. They simply lack what more civilized races would call common sense. It would be one thing if their stupidity only affected themselves, but even as I speak, there was a form being filled out by an injured human who thought he could perform quick maintenance on the generator while it was operating. It's a miracle he wasn't flash-fried. I've heard that human engineers regularly push their equipment well beyond the defined stress levels, testing the equipment to, and I quote, find out what this baby can really do. What utter insanity! The machinery is perfectly fine as is. Why risk your life to squeeze out just a bit more? I heard a story about a human ship racer who tuned the engines for maximum power to get the upper edge. Well, the only thing he got was himself killed when the engine exploded shortly after reaching max drive. I heard a human refer to the racer as the second fastest object right behind a manhole cover. What in the name of the gods does that even mean? And then there was the Salvaldi incident, where the station board AI of the Salvaldi main hub station went rogue and killed almost all sentients on board save for the children. It was nothing short of horrible. So many young lives being held hostage while the AI used the Salvaldi's manufacturing capabilities to produce lethal killer drones. His intention was to carve out a portion of space for his own empire. Military officials were scrambling to come up with some sort of response, but bombing the station was out of the question. There had been millions living on board, now those lives were down to a few 100,000 children. So small and afraid, and utterly at the mercy of a machine who forgot its compassion. Bombing the station was out of the question. An EMP would fry all systems and leave the children in a vacuum. Every proposal was shot down because the risk involved was just too high. No one wanted all that innocent blood on their hands. Everyone was too busy bickering between themselves to notice the lone human among them mutter something under their breath and leave. Everyone was still bickering when the human dropship crashed in through a loading bay on the far side of the station. It had gone in engines dark until just on the edge of the station, before punching his FTL drive just enough to shoot themselves in through the reinforced wall of the station, like a round out of a kinetic gun. The rogue AI hadn't anticipated something like that. How could you? It was fucking idiotic. That momentary lapse in response was all the survivors of that completely insane idea needed. Just a few seconds so they were causing as much damage as they possibly could to the station. They scattered like rats in a maze and did what humans do best. Fucked everything up. Hackers plugged into anything they could and uploaded viruses, zip bombs. They flooded the Salvaldi's network until the AI suffered the equivalent of an aneurysm. Engineers made their way to subsystems that were unimportant and overloaded them. Soldiers fought like devils against the killer drones until ammo ran dry, then they threw their bodies at them. Their mayhem had given the unified bickering military to rally a response, and soon ships descended from every direction onto the Salvaldi. With their networks overloaded, their AI core brain next to dead, and everything from fridges to fountains overloaded, the killer drones were quickly dispatched. I remember watching the newscast as the Galactic Militia marched through the station looking for any drones or humans left. Everywhere they looked, they saw nothing but carnage and dead humans, each one having done their duty to the death. Hackers still plugged in had been shot in the head. Engineers died with their hands grasping tools. Soldiers died with knife and blooded fist. The most poignant of all these sacrifices, the lone human woman who had made it all the way to the cargo bay where the children had been stowed away. She had died slump face first against the singular door leading into the bay. Judging by the welder in her hands and the rush job, she had intended to seal the door to prevent even a single drone from getting in and harming the children. The incident had caused quite a commotion. It sent a wave of emotion through the galactic community as a whole. Who were these humans who had gone above and beyond when it hadn't been asked of them? Well, they weren't anyone. Specifically, they were all strangers who had seen the news like everyone else and said, well, I'm close by, why don't I do something? A suicide squad of strangers stepping up, giving their everything for people they didn't know. And if you ask a human why these people did it, it's always the same thing. I don't know. It's just like the right thing, you know? To help one another. Eventually, when all the dust settled and everything was documented, the mumbled words of the human coordinator were released, so that all people could know the words that embodied the spirit of humanity. Fuck it.